is the North End. This is the North End.
Hey guys, welcome to the North End. And here's the good, the bad, the ugly from Liverpool failing epically at Molineux today. Wolverhampton Wanderers 3, Liverpool 0. I have to try and dissect this game. I kind of don't want to think about it again, but you know what? Committed to this video, so let's go. And it's a shame that we've just recently switched up this format to good, bad, and ugly because now I have to pick something that's good. And really, I'm torn between two things. On one hand, we do have a very promising youngster on our hands, Stefan Bajcetic. I said his name this week in the pod. He played again today and was probably our only shining light. Decent at winning the ball and was able to find a red shirt. I guess that's good. No, he is very promising. Like I said last time, it's about time we had someone new on the books that was somewhat homegrown or has come through the academy. And the only other good thing that I could have possibly said today is thank the heavens that another game is out of the way. And what I mean by that is for Liverpool, this season has to end, cannot end soon enough. But also, I guess now with a game not for 9 days, we're that little bit closer to having the likes of Luis Diaz, Diego Jota, Bobby Firmino, and Virgil van Dijk and Ibu Konate back. 4 of those are regular starters. And I'm not making excuses for this Liverpool team because it's drab. It's bad above Klopp. Klopp's not had a great season. Obviously, the players haven't had a great season. But all of that doesn't help when 4 players that would be somewhat regular starters are not even available to play for most of the season. So, yeah, that's really where I have to cut off the good because there really wasn't too much good about today's performance. Takes me to the bad. So, what I would say above anything else is that it's very difficult for me to keep saying new points about Liverpool as it pertains to this season because it literally is Groundhog Day. There's very little in terms of progression. Things are getting somewhat worse, but not really. You know, we were lethargic against Fulham, which is the first game of the season. We were bad against Newcastle a couple of weeks later, albeit we got a last-minute winner. And ever since then, roughly had the same season. But what I have to call out more than anything in terms of the bad is that first 12 minutes was 12 minutes from hell. Absolutely 12 minutes from hell. You don't need that in the kind of form Liverpool are in. You certainly don't need it away from home against a team who are, you know what, somewhat on their way back. Molineux's always an awkward ground to go to. Lopetegui's got Wolves playing well, and they kind of owed us one anyway, just from recent games as well. So it was really, really bad to start a Premier League game that way. And you know what? The worst thing about it was the fact that both of our centre backs, arguably who are not the first choice, well, Joe Gomez certainly isn't. And I think it's fair to say now that Ibu Konate has displaced Joe Matip as the starting centre back next to Van Dijk. But both of these guys are the reserve centre backs. You know, when they're both making a mistake within the first 12 minutes, that's going to be a very, very tough day at the office. But even beyond that, everything was bad. The finishing was bad. The pressing was bad, except for like a 20, 30-minute spell at the start of the second half. The last 10 minutes were bad. It was bad. Shit was bad. Liverpool are bad. I get it. But you know what? The big thing is the attitude absolutely stinks, and it has from the first game of the season. You know, the rest of the North End team will know. My biggest beef against Fulham, which was the very first game of the season, is I thought that we just thought we would show up and win the game, and that's still happening even in the rut we're in. Clearly, based on that first 12 minutes, whatever Klopp worked on was somehow misinterpreted by the team, that they didn't even try at times in that first half, and that is unacceptable for any football team. And I'm going to round this off with the ugly. So I think I have to kind of go off the pitch right now and talk about just certain mood in the club at the moment is ugly, and it's a little bit toxic. And I think from that perspective, it's very difficult to shape somewhat of a comeback in the season. You know what? There's enough points to play for. There is enough points to play for. You know, you look at results, there's shocks up and down the Premier League every single week, and Liverpool would only need to get a sustained run together. But culture and vibe is very toxic right now. I don't know if you saw, but in the post-match press conference, Jurgen Klopp had a go at one of a journalist that's actually very Liverpool centric, a Liverpool fan, works for the Athletic now. His name's James Pearce, and there's obviously a bit of friction that has emerged between them, but that just goes to show just how bad and actually just how ugly things are at the moment. There's issues with the board, clearly. They want to sell a stake. We don't really know what's happening there. There's Jurgen's involvement. Now, Jurgen isn't having the best season, but he's still the MVP of Liverpool Football Club. So he's not negotiable, but he's still not having his best season and is making a few mistakes along the way. The players are terrible. I find there's certain aspects of the fan base that are a little bit toxic as well. So, you know, for the ugly, it's very difficult to distinguish between the bad and the ugly when the bad is so emphatic. But the ugly has to be the vibe at the moment. And Liverpool still have quite a lot to play for this season. They don't realize it, but there's so many points to play for. Obviously, we've got a daunting task in the Champions League. And that's scary anyway under the certain situation we're in. But even worse than that is to make it harder for yourself by having this run into that game. You know what, folks? I could keep talking about some of the really bad stuff. And I'm hoping some of my videos will be a bit more upbeat in the future, but I'm really finding it hard to channel that at the moment. Anyway, we'll be back, and I'll hopefully be documenting that on here as well. But for today, the bad and the ugly far outweighed the good. Let me know what you think. You know, I would love to hear what you think, whether you're a Liverpool fan or not. Above anything else, please subscribe. Please share this video with your friends and Liverpool fans. And yeah, follow the North End. We're going to keep it real as the season starts to heat up. Some big results today elsewhere as well. So keep it locked to the North End. My name's Aizaz. Follow us, share us, subscribe us, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best. Peace.
This is the North End. This is the North End.